Testing, please work.
Hello, friend. I really hope you work because I'm really tired and it's midnight and we're about to cry. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I am Ajani and this is
Jackie.
And we decided to create a series on BTS because we like BTS.
And we have opinions.
And we see that our opinions aren't really, what's the word? Like, it's not really represented within ARMY a lot.
They're not very common.
Right. So, and I think there are a lot of ARMYs that would agree with us. It just tend to be the silent majority maybe, or at least silent minority. And I wanted to just kind of have a space for us to, for fun, like just talk about those things, like talk about the latest news and talk about our opinions on things that are happening within the fandom and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like half intellectual, but we can be kind of dumb. So that's why I say it's half intellectual. It's like, yeah. So it's not like going to be memes and stuff or like exaggerated reactions, and we don't know how to run a YouTube channel, and I'm sure if we ever come back to this video, we're going to be really embarrassed.
Oh man.
But you got to start somewhere. Yeah. So we're awkwardly starting here. Okay. Transition. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is, first, I wanted to talk about some of the latest like news that's occurring in the fandom, and just kind of get like, it's just supposed to be like a discussion with you guys so that we can hear your opinions and you can hear ours and just get discussion going basically. So the first bit of news that I think I told you about was Charlie Puth. Oh yeah, the thing with Charlie Puth is like blowing up.
The thing with Charlie Puth,
it's like blowing up bad right now. Like at first, so basically if you didn't hear about it, Charlie Puth apparently
tweeted.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't the most ideal thing to tweet.
So he basically said that he was, like upset and at ARMYs, and he wanted the toxicity to stop, even though he was like, I'm normally not bothered by that, and da-da-da. And a lot of ARMYs were like, what the heck? Because they were actually celebrating the Adele achievement, BTS breaking Adele's achievement.
Yeah.
So this like came out of like left field for a lot of people. Mm-hmm.
And then he posted his new video.
Yeah, he had tweeted about a video that was upcoming like 2 to 3 days before he said that. So a lot of ARMYs who aren't the biggest fan of Charlie felt like it was for clout, and so it became a very uncomfortable situation, especially because the ARMYs in question apparently were like TikTok ARMYs, and they're apparently, I'm starting to hear that it's actually some people who have caused trouble in the fandom before, like on purpose.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I just recently heard that today. So like basically, I when I first read the thing, I was like, okay, well he said, like he's entitled to his feelings or whatever. If he got frustrated, then why? Like, because a lot of people are like, oh, why is he saying stuff now? And it's like, I don't know, maybe he just saw it now. We're all like in quarantine and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe he just felt, or maybe like there was just so much hate consistently that he just felt like he needed to say something. So like, for me, I felt like, I don't know much about, like, I don't know like almost anything about Charlie Puth. Like all I know is like a couple songs he made, but like just looking at him from my position as an outside person, I felt like he was entitled to say that, because it wasn't like he was like, oh, I hate you guys, this and that. Like it was just like, stop doing this. Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side, like I understand a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like him because he's done some things in the past I don't agree with, and they feel like he used Jungkook for clout in the first place, and they feel like he used BTS for clout in the first place. Yeah. So a lot of them see this as him doing that again. Mm-hmm. So I understand that perspective. Like if you felt that he did that in the first place, which I don't know if he did or not. Like I don't really have an opinion on that because I can't really know. I know that it's common that like a lot of people do.
It's like common within celebrities. You hear about it a lot where celebrities will be teaming up just for just for clout, but like in this case, like you really can't say one way or another.
Especially because he was so famous beforehand.
Yeah.
Like I live under a rock most of the time, and I was still able to hear about him. Like I remember reading some article about his like $20 million mansion or whatever. Like don't quote me on that, but like it was like some millions. Huh? Yeah, he has a really expensive mansion.
Wow, okay.
So, like in California somewhere. And the thing is, like, I don't normally keep up with celebrity news like that, but I was able to see that article. This is before all that stuff happened years ago, before he even like talked to them. And you have to remember, Jungkook was covering his song. So he was obviously like some kind of, artist that Jungkook like respected, or at least he liked the songs. So I feel like we have to take that all into account. He already had the respect of Jungkook, at least, of BTS. And he already had money. He already had, like at least some fame, even if he doesn't have a dedicated fandom like ARMY. So I can't say whether or not he was doing it for clout, but I mean, like, I think every artist, like, they think this is going to be beneficial for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's normal. I think that's like business.
Yeah.
So it's like yes, of course, there's people who just like do things only for, like, I'm only going to collaborate with this person because I want to make it big. But then, like, I don't know that he was doing that.
Yeah, I can't really say one way or another, especially since he was so big beforehand. And then also, like, I didn't really like how people reacted to the tweets because,
what do you mean? Like how?
The very violent backlash.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, because the truth of the matter is, like, toxicity can be happening even when you don't notice it. So, like, you never know what he may have been experiencing. So he may have just been putting it out there instead of, talking to individual people, like, who make it, I don't know, in the hundreds or whatever. So it's like, you can't say, oh, what's he talking about? Oh, he's just making up stuff for clout. It's like, you don't know that. You don't, no one has eyes in every single corner of the fandom. So it's just like, I feel like the backlash was a little extreme.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just a little bit extreme. And he seemed really tired. He seemed really done.
Yeah.
His tweets.
And the kind of responses that I saw, most of my content comes from Instagram because I left Twitter a lot, pretty much, because it's toxic, which we all know. But most of my stuff comes from like Instagram, like commenting on Twitter stuff. And those people, like a lot of people were saying stuff like, oh, he just wants attention. Oh, like F off, he's just trying to get attention for his new MV, stuff like that. And it was just really hostile. And it's like, I understand the frustration of having him say something negative at a time when ARMY worked really hard to get something positive done, especially because Billboard picked it up. And they wrote an article about what he said, and they felt like it wasn't representative of the whole fandom, which is like totally fair. But we all have to know that like the actions of one, affect the many. So it's like, we can say, oh, that wasn't, that wasn't us, that was 5% of the fandom or whatever, like that doing that. It's like, for them, they're still ARMYs. They're all a part. So it's like, we all know that our behavior, how we act and stuff, would reflect on the rest of the fans. Yeah,
it ripples out, and especially to an outsider, you don't know what the entire fandom is like. But if almost every single interaction you have is negative and toxic, then you're gonna think the whole fandom's toxic.
True. And how many positive, experiences does he have with ARMY? We have to think about that. Like, it sounds like a lot of ARMYs already didn't like him. So I mean, if he's only getting a negative side. Yeah, then he's only going to see the negative side, and he's only going to think, oh, ARMYs are negative. So I think that there's a lot that went into that, and it's sad that it's spiraling out of control. And what it reminds me of is Wale.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2017, Namjoon did a song called "Change" with Wale, and the fans started going after him and saying he did it for clout. He did it for clout. And the thing is, Wale was somebody that like Namjoon seemed to respect, and he seemed to like genuinely get along with, and they seemed to respect each other as artists. And then like Wale ended up like basically, from my memory, saying like, forget it, I'm never gonna collab with him again. And I'm like, think about how the idol feels. Like, how does Jungkook feel with you guys, not all of you, but some of you guys attacking Charlie Puth? They're saying he's doing it for clout. It's like he could be, but at the same time, is it really like something that would reflect well on ARMY for you to attack him for it publicly? Because then you guys are the representatives of BTS, so then your actions are, you know, associated with BTS. So I feel like, I mean, I can't speak for the members, but I feel like that would make me personally sad if there was somebody I liked and respected, and then people started saying, oh, they were just working with me for clout, and attacking, and some of the fandoms attacking, and then some of the fandom is they're not even apologizing on behalf of those other armies. They're just saying they're fake armies, that they don't have anything to do with us. You should stop. You're just complaining to even get attention. So then that kind of reinforces what the other ones are even doing.
It's like, yeah, okay, like nobody likes what some armies are doing, but you can't just say, oh, those are fake armies, you're just acting out for clout. Like, you have to be like, oh, I'm sorry that some people are acting like this, you know, deserve that, or whatever, like whether you believe it or not, because the thing is, your words and your behavior reflect on your artist. And if the whole fandom is reacting in such a negative way, especially, I've seen some of the comments, they've been like really feral and highly aggressive. It's like people are gonna think, oh man, their family's crazy, I don't want to get involved with them. And that really ruins opportunities.
And it reinforces the stereotype that armies are trying to get rid of, which is that they're crazy and hostile. So it's like, I'm not saying like, oh, armies are bad or anything for the reactions. Like, that frustration is totally understandable, but so is Charlie's frustration. And we can't prove what his reasons were. We can't prove what his motivations were, but we do know that like Jungkook wanted to collaborate with him, and he said that many times, and he covered his song, and we know that he did collaborate with him. So for people to mistreat an artist that didn't really do anything that I saw, like, he's not like he was like, you know, talking, you know, crap or whatever about BTS afterwards. Like, I don't understand why armies would do that, because it's reinforcing so many negative things. Even if they weren't the ones to start the fight, even if a majority of armies didn't even say anything to him, it's still, we have to take responsibility for everybody in the fandom, and at the same time not reinforce the negativity that the other armies are doling out.
Yeah, because the truth of the matter is, a few bad apples ruin the bunch. But like, if you're trying to say, oh, not all apples are like that, then you can't act like the bad apples. Like honestly.
So that sounds totally like not all men.
Sounds exactly like the not all men comment.
It's the same kind of mentality.
It's the same mentality. The problem is you have to really set the example. You can't just say not all of us. You have to act differently as well.
So yeah, I guess that's like the last thing I want to say is like, so, because I'm sure some people are like, okay, but I feel so frustrated. How do I turn this around? Like, that like, you have to be the example of how to act. You should, you know, if you're an army, I don't know if some armies have or have not already done this. This is just from what we've seen so far. But you know, if you're an army, you can always apologize. And I've seen armies in the past apologize for the behavior of other armies. It's like, should you have to do that? No, but we have to police our own fandom. So it sucks that some people don't know how to act, but the mature ones have to be the ones that apologize and step forward and say, you know, I'm sorry about the way they've been treating you. We don't want any fandom war. We don't want any like toxicity. You know, like, we're happy that you made our artists happy by collaborating with them. So it's like you have to step up and be the mature ones, even if you think Charlie is doing it for the clout, even if you think, because he has power enough that Billboard noticed his words. So like, the fact that he has that much power just from one tweet or two, it should show how much he has to be respected, at least in the fact that he has the power to influence others' image of armies, and therefore by extension BTS. So it's like, you have to, it's frustrating sometimes if you feel like that person's in the wrong, but sometimes you have to like respect and go along to get along a little bit. When it comes to, especially a situation where we can't prove that he did something wrong or negative.
Really can't. And we also can't prove like the behaviors of the some army or whatever. Like, if somebody says, oh, this fandom has been acting this way towards me, then you really just have to assume that it's happened and not act like that. You can't just say, oh, you're acting like this just to get attention.
Because like, that sounds like victim blaming mentality.
It is, yeah. Because it's like, oh, it didn't happen. It's like that's not how it works.
Or it's like, or it happened, but it only happened for a couple of us did it. It wasn't us, so you shouldn't even complain about it. Like, why are you trying to get attention?
Exactly. Like that's not how it works. It's like, if a person says, oh, this person's bullying me, like people in this class are bullying me, then you can't say, oh, not everybody in the class is bullying you, shut up and sit down. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you need...
It's like, that's not even the problem.
Exactly, like, that's not the problem. The problem is some people are doing it, and you need to help that person with those people doing it. So as a fandom, we need to set the example and say, I'm sorry for those few people. Not all of us are like that. Let us show you. And then you need to show it. You can't just get on somebody, oh, you're just doing this for clout. Like, you don't know what happened. I know there are a lot of situations where people will DM people and you can't see DMs unless someone shows screenshots. So you don't know if he's been DM'd a lot. You don't know if some people went on private. Like, you don't know if he'd been emailed, because I know a lot of celebrities have emails. Like, you don't know what actually happened to him.
It's not our job to find out. It's not when a victim is, or someone who claims to be a victim, it's not our jobs to verify that. And clearly they did prove that they're like, oh, some people did do that.
Yeah, so
it's like, it did happen. It's not like he's just making it up out of nowhere to make them look bad. It's like, it did happen, so
we need to set the example and act differently and try and prevent this from causing BTS from losing another opportunity to collab with one of their favorite artists. Because if we keep doing that, you know, if celebrities that BTS like keep stepping forward saying their fandom is crazy and I don't want to deal with them, then BTS is going to lose the opportunity to collab with people. And that not only would that make them sad, but also wouldn't be good for their image over here in the West. So, you know, like, it's a rippling effect. We need to change how we act.
So a lot of people would start being afraid to collab, because I'd be like, because imagine if you were a celebrity and then BTS was like, yo, we'd like to collab with you, or you maybe wanted to collab with BTS, but you're like, oh wait, they attack everybody. Their fans attack everybody to collab with. They'll just say I'm doing it for clout. And so it's like, it just has, like she said, like a rippling effect of negativity, and it's literally the opposite of what ARMY has been fighting for all this time.
It's really sad. It actually makes me really sad.
It is really sad.
Because it's like...
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, because it's not only would they lose opportunities to collab, but also it'll be harder for them to do shows here and do interviews, because some people might think if we do that, then their fans are going to come after us if we say the wrong thing or whatever. Or, you know,
plus they could get interviewed asking questions about that sort of thing, which had nothing to do with.
And it can cause more scandal rumors and all sorts of stuff. And like we're not trying to go for that. We're trying to go for
getting
the opposite of that. We're trying to go for
it into the whole world's music industry.
Yeah, we're
and
trying
getting them respect.
We're trying to help open opportunities, not close them off. So like if a few bad apples are trying to ruin a bunch, then we need to be the good apples and you know, cut that off. Like, we need to show people that yes, not all of us are like that, and we can't victim blame.
So that's all I wanted to say. She wanted to say about that situation.